In essay number 3, you're going to be writing a compare and contrast essay. So chapter 23 will give you the fundamental information on how to do that properly. So the first thing that you need to understand is what the difference is between comparing and contrasting. When you compare something, whether it's to objects or to written articles, whatever, when you compare them, you're finding out what's similar between the two of them. When you contrast them, you're finding what's different. So on one hand, in your essay, you're going to be talking about what the two items have in common, and then you're going to look at what their differences are. So make sure you do both in your essay. You can't just do one or the other. You have to have both. So what are some keys to writing a compare-contrast essay? The first thing you have to do, pretty much as with every paper you write, you have to determine what your main point is. You have to figure out why you are comparing and contrasting. Then you will be able to formulate a thesis statement and stay focused as you write the rest of your essay. And remember, once you formulate your thesis statement, make sure each of your body paragraphs has a topic sentence in that first sentence so that you can develop your thesis statement and stay focused. Okay, those are extremely critical elements that you need, and they all feed into each other. So you determine the main point. From that main point, you write your thesis statement. From that thesis statement, you can formulate however many topic sentences you need to, and then you develop those topic sentences in your body paragraphs, and that's how your paper takes shape. Then, once you have those topic sentences in place, you have to decide what details you're going to include in order to support those topic sentences, and then, of course, as a whole, your thesis statement. So you need to sit down and outline what details you're going to make about each thing that you're comparing and contrasting, and what information you want to use to support that and to provide examples of that. As you do this, you want to make sure that you organize your thoughts logically. You want to make sure that your body paragraphs are in a certain order for a certain reason, and you want to make sure that the information within each body paragraph is organized logically. Don't just throw your information in there. You want to be logical about it so that your reader can follow you through your entire essay. And the best way to help them follow you is to use transitions. Transition statements are extremely important. So you want to do that. And the chapter gives you specific examples on good compare-contrast transitions. So use those. Let me see if I can find them really fast. Transitions, if you haven't noticed so far, I tend to harp on them, but that's because they're so extremely important. If you look on page 336, it's got a list of some of the contrast transitions, and 335 has the comparison transitions. Use those. Yeah, extremely important. Okay, and as I've said, you want to develop your main ideas within your body paragraph. So you're working with a lot of information all at one time. You're working with a main point of a paper, which is written as your thesis statement. Those are the overarching things that apply to your whole paper. Then within each paragraph, you've got another topic sentence, which is a main point too. And then you develop that main point. So you're working on different levels, a paragraph level and an essay level. Okay, so every sentence in your paper needs to go back to a topic sentence, and yet everything you mention needs to go back to your thesis statement. Hopefully that makes sense and didn't make things worse. And then, of course, you have to include a conclusion that is its own separate paragraph and stays focused on your main point. You don't want to suddenly shift gears and conclude on something different. All right, so let's review the prompt for paper number 3. Here we go. The purpose is to help you learn how to compare and contrast two different things. You'll build on the information that you've already learned about description and the other elements of writing you've learned so far. As with your other papers, hopefully you're getting the hang of this. You're going to turn it in twice. Once this coming Sunday, once next Sunday. And the first time you turn it in, make sure you turn it in with a response sheet. Otherwise, you can't get points or feedback. Make sure you have MLA formatting, or it will cause you to lose points on your final paper grade. For the assignment itself, please write a 2-page minimum essay comparing and contrasting 2 celebrities of your choice. So they could be, you can compare and contrast anything about them. Maybe a positive role model celebrity and a negative role model celebrity. I don't care. But again, as I said in the slides, you need to have a main point. So think about what you want to do. Think about who you want to compare and why you want to compare them. What's your main tying point going to be between them? And when I say celebrities, it's very wide open. Just anybody famous, I guess. Musicians, actors, reality TV stars, TV show hosts, athletes. I'm totally fine with athletes if you want to compare and contrast them. So really, it's just anybody famous. I just use the collective word of celebrities. If you have any questions on whether or not I will approve of people you choose, just email me. That's a super fast email. I'll get right back to you and say, yes, that's perfectly fine, or I may give you some guidance elsewhere. I haven't had anybody yet who couldn't use who they wanted. So hopefully you understand what I mean by celebrities. So make sure you pre-write, make sure you organize and outline and do all that kind of stuff. Formulate your main idea, formulate the support and examples you want to give. Yeah, get it all organized and ready to go. This is the kind of paper that you can very easily organize, but if you don't, it's going to be a huge mess. So you have to take the time to plan, prepare, and outline. Okay, so figure out what your thesis statement's going to be, figure out what main points you want to make in your body paragraphs, and stick to that and develop and support it appropriately. Okay, make sure you stay academic, don't narrate, don't use you. Use transitions effectively, make sure that you are supporting your thoughts appropriately, make sure you develop them enough, and also make sure you stay focused. Okay, these are all writing elements that we've covered so far this quarter, so you've got to keep practicing and making a good, cohesive, unified essay. Your audience is someone who does not know either of your celebrities, so you have to give good description and good explanations. Okay, they've got to be super clear so that your reader knows exactly who you're talking about, even if they've never heard of them. Okay, that's your job. Let's see here. Okay, the grading's the same. You'll get 20 participation points for turning in on time the first time. I'll give you feedback and get it back to you. Make sure you have the response sheet with it. And then the second time, you'll get an actual traditional grade, and you don't need the response sheet for that one. Okay, so here is it says grading rubric. It's a response sheet. It's the same difference. You use a rubric to determine how I'm going to grade you. This is the same thing. I just give it back, so I call it a response sheet. Okay, make sure it's at least 2 pages long. This one can actually get 3 to 4 pages if you do a good job. If it's underdeveloped, I'll let you know. So either stay focused and make it short, or actually take your time with it and have a little fun and make it a little longer. It's fine by me. Make sure it fulfills all of the information as outlined in the prompt. That's a requirement, and everything else is pretty much the same. Make sure you have an effective introduction, conclusion, all that. All pretty much the same. One thing I am going to start harping on is narrating or using you. That's not good for academic writing. We're not writing a narrative anymore. That was your first essay. You're done. Don't narrate. And you should never be in your paper. I despise you. It's too general. It's too vague. And to me, it's a lazy way of writing. All right, so here's paper number 3. Have fun with it. Pick people that you're really interested in and that you can tie together easily and that you can write about easily. It doesn't have to be hard. I mean, make it challenging. Don't get me wrong. Don't just be lazy and above about it, but do what interests you. That's what's most important. And if what interests you happens to challenge you at the same time, then that's great. There's nothing wrong with being challenged. Okay, so again, if you have any questions on the celebrities you pick or anything that's unclear about this essay, let me know. Otherwise, happy writing!